This bike right here is a really good friend of ours, Mr. Scott Alff. Scott has 4 of our bikes already. This will be his 5th one. This is going to be a turbocharged Road Glide. This bike's going to be finished for Sturgis, so we got it all tore down now. Here pretty soon, man, we're going to be working our asses off getting this thing all put together real nice, and it's got a one-off really cool paint scheme that's going to be on it, so stay tuned because this thing's going to be really cool.
So guys, today we are getting Scott Alff's bike the rest of the way tore down. We're going to get the wiring harness off, subframe off. We got the motor and transmission out this morning. Get it all stripped the rest of the way so we can get it stripped, the frame stripped. We got to get all this black off and we're gonna make it blue. I don't know what color blue, so you're gonna have to stay tuned and see the color because Lee's got the color picked out and he hadn't even told us yet what the color is. Me and Charlie's gonna get this wiring harness stripped out of here. And then Charlie go do his deal in the back in the power cut room and get it bare metal. No, it's pretty simple. Just get the motor out of the way and then now you got this whole harness. Definitely gotta have the motor out of the way to make it easier. Gather up all these clips. That way they don't get all messed up and we'll put them back in place. Well, it'll go outside. We got this chemical. It eats the powder off of it. And then we'll send it over to our sandblaster. And he'll sandblast the whole thing, get it all so it don't flash rust. Then we'll tape all the holes up. We'll plug holes with bolts. We'll tape all this up so the neck will bolt right on. Clearance and gap issues. You gotta have clearance for certain parts. Charlie will preheat it in the oven. We'll pull it out. We'll spray it blue. And hopefully that's all we got to do. So on Mr. Scott Alff for his motor this time, we did him a turbo bike. He has a 132, and now we're going to do him another 132. But this 132 is going to have a diamond cut, pineapple cut with special coloring in the fins on his pineapple cut is what Lee is describing to us. So with his 132 here, it's going to be all tricked out. It's gonna love it, it's gonna sound great, and have plenty of power.
Guys, let me show you this bike again. What we'll be talking about here is, again, a fully powder coated frame. This is when you're wanting to take it to the next level. That standard black frame is fine for 95% of the bikes we build. But you're gonna see when they come back in, and again, it's like here's a little further along on this bike. Again, when you're setting up all of the air ride stuff and all of the ABS system, the big motor stuff, this is a level when you're taking it up to that top level with SCC.
Today, guys, I have the cam installed, I have the lifters installed, I have the lifter cuffs installed. Now I'm going to check the alignment for the chain alignment from sprocket to sprocket. That way we know the chain drives true on the sprockets and it's not wearing out. So we're going to check that, and if we have to change it, I have some shims and we'll get it changed out and we'll go from there. But for now, I always take my straight edge, put it on that lower sprocket here, and I go up to the top sprocket and see if I can spin it. And I can spin it and I can watch it move a little bit. So that indicates me I can do it with a filler gauge, but I've done enough of them now to where I kind of know what shim to put in there. So we're going to take the stock shim out, and then we're going to change it with probably 120 thousandths shim is what it seems like it needs. Put my little tool in there, get my impact right here. Now, you want to have proper chain alignment so it don't wear out. That's that little shim I'm talking about. That's a factory Harley 0.110 shim. This is going to be 120. It don't have any mark, but it just goes right here on the camshaft, and then you put your cam sprocket back over top of it just to check everything, and we're going to tighten it back up. You just want to run this down snug a little bit. And we got our flat part. Yeah, see now it's touching. So that's what we want. That way we know the chain alignment's perfectly square, and now we'll be able to install the chain tensioner, and the cam side will be done today. It's always important to have your dots aligned. Top dead center. That way you got all the right timing marks. Then we're just gonna snug it up. And then we'll go back and torque it here in 1 second. Get our alignment tool in here. Don't let me know nothing moving around. That'll hold it so we can torque all this stuff down. Top bolt will be 35. Bottom bolt's gonna be 25. So now the cam's done. Lifters are done. Now I'll put the lifter boxes on. We'll get the cam plate on, or the cam cover on, and man, we're gonna move over here in a minute. And I'm gonna gap the rings on these new pistons and cylinders we got that we're gonna put a 132 together for this nice customer of ours, and he's gonna have a nice little hot rod when he's done. Getting our nice ARP bolts Loctited. Harleys, they just vibrate so much. If you don't Loctite it, your bolts will come loose. So line them down nice and smooth. And bolts go 120 inch-pounds also. A little nice and gentle so it don't mess up the powder coat or the paint. All right, there's that. All right, so now we're gonna get over here and gap our rings to match our cylinders, the pistons. Without the proper ring gappage, you can have blow-by, you can have cylinder scarring, you can have multiple different things to where your motor will never seal, it'll just always leak oil, or it'll just run too hot. You don't want it to run too hot, you want it to run just perfect. So that's why it's important to gap your rings properly. So on this one, we're gonna take it, we're gonna slide it in here, pick it up nice and gentle, take this piston, make sure it's all square, push it down, take my feeler gauges, and we're gonna check and see what we got. So right now, this is the second ring. The second ring is sit right here on the piston. So I'm gonna gap it at about 28, and so far nothing fits. So we need to open it up. And what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna take my ring gapper, I'm gonna lay it in here, set it up against there, tighten the ring down. We're just gonna turn it on and just barely just check. I like to check it a couple times. I don't want to take too much off in one time, so it's no rush. Then I take my file, go in here and knock down these sharp edges. That way we don't scratch our cylinder wall. All right, stick it down in there again. Line it up with our piston. Got a nice 28 thousandths ring gap. That's the front cylinder. I'll do the same thing to the rear cylinder. I like to just take it and, well, I don't get my stuff mixed up. But now we're gonna start assembling our oil rings, all our rings on the piston. Snap ring in for the wrist pin. There we go, got a wrist pin snap ring in on one side. That way I don't have to do it when the piston rings are on and try to fight with it and potentially mess up a ring. You always want to stagger all the gaps of the rings different all the way around the piston. That way you don't want them lined up. If they're lined up, they're gonna leak, they're never gonna seal. So you always just start out with them all positioned at a different corner of the piston. There's all our piston rings on our piston. A little bit of oil on the skirt and piston. Just wanna get it started good. There we go. Got your piston in the hole, all the rings and everything. So now we got the pistons in, got one on. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the front cylinder on. And then after I get this on, we'll get the head gaskets put in, and we'll get the heads installed and torqued down today. So we're gonna take this right here, slide up in here nice and gentle. I'm gonna take it and kind of let it rest right there while my hand's under it. Tap the piston down a little bit. I'm only a two-man deal. Take this, slide it in there. Everybody done went to lunch on me. Just like that. Without this, wrist pin would just beat your cylinders up and try to walk out and hit your cylinders and have a bad day. All right, so now we got both the cylinders on. We can get our dowel pins put in here to hold the gaskets. There we go. So now we're gonna set our cylinder heads back up here. We're gonna get the other one. There we go. Got all my head bolts already lubed up. Head bolts. We always use our ARP Pro Torque lube. Just getting them ran down a little snug before we get our torque wrench out and start doing the whole process. And we'll start our torque process, and we do. This time we're just going to run them both at the same time. That way, it's just easier to remember. Now we're on the second pass. 12, 24. We're on the third pass, and then after this pass, I'll go and loosen all the bolts up and rerun it and then get to our final torque number. Now we're going to loosen all the bolts up and re-torque them. This will be the final steps. All right, now all the heads are loosened back up. Now to redo it all. I've always just been told that's what you're supposed to do. There's a reasoning behind it. You squish the gaskets, and then you want to loosen everything up and make sure everything's all, since everything's seated, and then rerun your final torque on it. That's what I've been told. Somebody might tell me different, but I haven't had an issue doing it this way. But now we're getting the intake put on. We already got our injectors swapped out. Put bigger injectors in her for being a 132 motor. We'll get our rocker arms all lubed up, and we'll get those put on after we get this tightened down. And then we'll pump some oil back in them and then start installing them. We're gonna get these rocker arm shafts on here, and then that's gonna be the end of it for today. I'm gonna get my guy Charlie. He's gonna go back in the back. He's gonna powder coat us some blue rocker top covers. So I'm gonna get everything else torqued down. We'll just have to come back and you'll see the finished product in the next day.
Gonna finally got one done that you're absolutely gonna go nuts when you see the final version of what we've been working on. And guys, let me tell you, this is for a great, great client of ours, Scott Alff. He's out of Omaha, Nebraska. He's got a brand new product, and so this has taken a little bit of a veer for us as a builder at SCC. We wanted to celebrate this new business with him. He reached out to us a year ago and said, hey, I'm working on this thing. I'd love to build a bike kind of around it. So they kind of helped supply us with some pictures of things they've done in marketing and then the color scheme. So let me tell you just a little bit about how this bike came together. And what we did, we've got a company called Ice Solutions. And if you're looking for, you got bad ice situations in your fall and winter, these are the products that you're going to want to reach out to. If you've got big parking lots, if you've got just a driveway that you need, this product takes care of it. And you're going to see a lot of stuff about this because we're going to be doing a kind of a big unveiling when we get up to Sturgis here in about a month. But let's talk about the bike just a minute. Started off with a new 26 Road Glide, and he wants something big and really over the top. So we started up front with that big 26. And guys, when you see and kind of think of the theme of what we were trying to do here, this is an RC Components called the Phenom. And what we did is we kind of carried this along the line of a snowflake, and you'll see kind of part of their logo set up is part of this situation where you got the blue ice, and then as it gets warmer and taken care of by the Ice Solutions, it turns orange. And so you see the paint scheme kind of giving you a little bit of a lead into that. Again, snowflake in the front with this, and then we've got an absolutely gorgeous look the way they've done this. This is a natural cut. Then we told them we'd come back in and we've coated this, so we've got an aluminum raw wheel that's been done, and then you can see all the details cut inside this. Then the big G, I love these rotors, guys. Very fitting with the rest of this bike. I'm telling you, we got a lot of great people we do business with, like Brian Clark. Go see Brian here in a couple weeks too, with what he does for the industry of making these bikes be able to go fast, but you can ride them and they just feel amazing. This particular bike has had its shakedown run and we're ready to put it on the road. Incredible handling. And you've seen some work we've done with this motor on this. This is a 132. And again, it's got the pineapple, the diamond, the powder coat that matches up to the entire bike. But we wanted to carry that flow of that natural raw. So you'll notice down here, Curly's one of our great, great guys that works with us. Part of this intake is done in his raw. And I love this piece because again, it carries the theme of that natural raw. And then the same thing with the shifter linkage down through here. And then you see the diamond cut with the show cut. And then coming back into it, you'll notice as we've done powder coating, paint on motor, derby cover, and then look at this tank, guys. Absolutely, Chris Fox, our main painter, has just blown himself away with this. And we've got 2 more that are gonna be coming for our Sturgis releases that are just off the chart. So you gotta keep watching, make sure you're subscribing. And then let's talk about kind of what we do as our setup. The big super fat AF custom bars. This, I think, really sets our bikes apart. These are 2-inch, what I call super fatties. And when you bring this look back in here with all the 4 controls and everything set up so that you've got a matching system all the way back through. And then look what Lisa has done for me on my seat. Guys, we love this kind of, she watched kind of how the paint was coming together with a little bit different than the lines. We put the nappa leather with the alcantara. And then you'll notice here, there's 3 different colors of stitching done in this. That again, pick up the lighter blues here, the medium blues, and then the orange. And again, done with the full backrest, the super nice little small pad back here. And then when you bring that all together with this paint scheme, incredible. Bags, and what we've got up here now, we've done the 8-inch lids with the horns. And then we've carried this back through with the Top Shop Money Maker. And guys, look at that baby doll rear end. I mean, that is so sleek, so smooth. You've got front and rear air. Guys call us all the time when they see these bikes the first time and they're thinking, how could you ride this thing? It's so lowly, it's gonna drag. Well, not with 5.5 inches of lift. We put that in the front and we put it in the rear. We do the grip switches, which are super, super nice for our riders. So all your controls are done right up here on the handlebars so that you're not having to reach under the bike to try to adjust that. So when you're coming, let's say coming off an interstate, you're getting ready to slow it down, you want to set the bike down a little bit lower as you've been riding, height has been up, you can just do that on the fly. So you release and drop some of the air down and it makes this bike just so it sits flat and smooth. But we've done a lot of things internally in here, again, talking about that big motor, all the SCC trim, guys. This is part of the proprietary things that we do for our clients. And then the brand new trash breather. I love this look. Again, we left that in a natural so it carries the theme all the way back through. Give us some comments what you think of this one. Again, it's a little over the top for our normal paint scheme, but I think it fits with what this bike has done. The blue that's being melted down, the ice look, down into the hot raw orange. Absolutely gorgeous. Thanks for watching, guys.